Okay, it's red and it's counting, so we'll see if that pops up in my recorded videos. I'm hoping. Okay, so one thing to remember when you're doing these, to make sure that your pocket is at the top, okay, when you're going to go lay them out. And so I have things pre-cut and already, you know, corner punched. I used the We Are Memory Keepers corner punch on this. This was the stub. It's the green handled one. Okay. Yeah, it's giving me a hard time, Renee. We'll see how it goes. Stubborn thing. Well, and you know, we're just going to keep going. If for some reason these don't work, I do have the other album that I can rebuild bases on. Okay. Because we already have the first one, which shows you how to build these. The only thing I can't do is do the binding. So fingers crossed. So let's go ahead and do a couple. Let's do this page. Get the craft paper on it. So the bottom one is tucked behind to create your front pocket, and the top one lays over this top flap to create your inside pocket. Pretty simple. So let's go ahead and put some tape on here. This goes really fast if you cut all the pieces. I just realized that this morning. I sat in here and I was prepping stuff. Well, some of you guys probably saw my video. I told you that. I just felt like doing a Good Morning Sunday video. Maybe I should make it a series. We'll just do it every Sunday before I broadcast. I actually really like doing that, so we'll see. Oh, here it is. Okay, so on the corners that are not punched, these top corners are punched. On the bottoms and the sides, about an inch and a half at most. I went up with tape. I need a little garbage bin for my desk. And so this bottom one, I have found that if you just kind of lay it in here, line it up how you want it to be, and then flip this over, it's a lot easier. Okay, and then same with the top. Your scalloped edges are going to go down like so. And you're going to line up with this one. Carol, have you heard from Barry? Is she faring well? Is Barry here? I don't think she's here. Oh, I think she's probably asleep. I forget that we're so far apart in time. I didn't do roll call either. That's maybe why Ustream's being stingy. So, we're going to do roll call. Let me get my drop down up. So hello to all of my moderators, Miss Wendy and Margaret Ann and Janny, and our viewers, Army, Bunny, Carol, Deb, Gay, Kathy Downing, Mermaid, Midnight Scrapper, Mickey G, Mitz, Patty, Pauline, PM Randall, Renee, Sharon, Susie, and then of course all of our guests. You'll have to sign in, guests, and come hang out with us. This group of girls is fantastic. Well, not girls. We're all ladies, right? Shh, don't tell anybody. Now I feel better. Did roll call. I was going to do it the other day on Scrap It Have a Dude's channel, and I was like, wait a minute, I'm not on my own channel. It's so weird. Okay. So here's our top one. And then what you're going to be doing, and we'll do this one, we're going to be putting magnets to hold these closed. And like I said, you don't have to do magnets. You can just use your tags to hold it closed, which is perfectly fine. So let's go ahead and get these bottom ones on. I keep checking to make sure the pocket's at the top. That's Mickey says, I'm not a lady. I saw a sign earlier today. It was really cute. I think maybe Debbie Wells, I'm not too sure, posted it. I can't say it because it's got cussing on it and I don't want to offend anybody's ears. But I honestly, you guys, I don't know if people know this. I know a few people know this. Margaret Ann, Wendy, and Carol all know this. I cuss like a sailor. Oh, geez. I have got a potty mouth. That is a little tidbit of information that people may not know about myself. How's the saying go? Cuss like a sailor, drive like a trucker. I don't even know if that's a saying. It is now. Okay. Let's get the top up here. Yeah, when Margaret Ann's around, I clean it up for the most part. Sometimes I slip, only when I'm really passionate about something. Well, there you go, Patty. I don't know if that's actually a saying. Maybe I just made that up. It just kind of came out. It's one of those mornings where just stuff comes out. I'm apologizing now. I woke up all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. We saw every year they've got the festival at Sandpoint, and they bring in some big name acts. We've got Montgomery Gentry coming next week, but on Friday was Huey Lewis and the News, which was awesome. And tickets are kind of expensive, and when you want all of your friends there, but anyways, it's held at the park, and you can totally just sit in the park and listen to the music. So that's kind of what we did. And just hung out. We've done it for the last few years. Even when we lived in Spokane, we drove up for it and did that. There's this one off a little bit. So we listened to Huey Lewis and the News. It was a really mellow like concert. It wasn't like last year. Who was here last year? Was it the Eagles or Foreigner? I can't remember. But last year's concert was awesome. Best time. We had fun. We danced. I danced, which is unusual for me to just be like whooping it up in the park. But I danced, and because every year I'm always the DD, which is fine. I don't usually drink anyhow. But so I danced last year and just had a ton of great fun. And this year it was really mellow, and you know. So it was good though. Mark went to hang out with his friends afterwards, and a whole bunch of friends that he grew up with, he hasn't seen in a long time, were there. So I'm really glad he got to do that. I didn't. I went home to make sure that kids were home by curfews and that they didn't need rides and so on and so forth. He didn't stay very long. He was really tired, which was understandable. But so is the pocket up here? Yeah, okay. I'm just going to get into my stories again. I'm sorry I got loud last weekend. Oh, geez. Apparently I blew out some decibels in people's ears. I just get so passionate about my stories. So, anywho, that on there. He got to hang out with his friends, and so I was happy for him. And then Saturday was fun. I woke up intending on going and doing all of this by myself, but I remember I had said to Rachel that if she wanted to go with Grandma to the craft fair, that we would. I should tell you about Thursday. Thursday was awesome too. I just had a couple awesome days. This month rocks. So yesterday, Rachel and I, we went. Oh, thanks, Renee. We went to. So I went over to her house to get her, and she had her cute, adorable, sparkly shoes on. But we went to Starbucks, and she got a smoothie, and I got my latte, and we sat there. It was so cute. She was sitting on the Starbucks. She's almost 4. At the end of this month, she'll be 4. She was sitting on the Starbucks couch, her little legs crossed, sipping her smoothie. And then we went to an antiques warehouse. It's only open once a month, but I mainly go there to get the spools, and she forgot to bring them, so I'm going to have to go there on my way to Spokane today. Swing by and grab them. She said she would. And then we went to the farmer's market downtown and walked around that, and I got my favorite soaps. They're handmade soaps. They're delicious. The mint julep is absolutely divine. I love it. I wish you guys could smell through the camera. That's what they need to invent next. It's going to happen. We're going to be able to smell through the camera at some point. Mark my words. So I got the mint julep and lavender and lemon, and then just the lavender bar. We walked around, and she played in there's this little like fountain type thingy. She played in that for a little while with this little boy. So cute. And she was all wet, and she's like, we got to go home and change. I said, we're not going home. You're just going to air dry, because it was like 90 out. She's, she wasn't going to freeze. She's like, really? Air dry? Like it was like a concept, a new concept. I was like, yeah, you'll be all right. So then we tried to go down to City Beach, and there's one way into City Beach, and it's just a line of people. So I'm in this line. Nobody's behind me, and it's not moving. We've been sitting there for like 20 minutes trying to get a parking spot. So I hit reverse. We pulled out of City Beach, and there's an Amtrak ramp for parking right before City Beach, and it's really close. And so I was like, you know what, Rachel, let's go up here. And there was like nobody parked up there, and there wasn't any signs that said you couldn't. So we parked up there and then walked down the ramp and went to the beach. Bingo bango. So that was pretty awesome. So, yeah, Rachel, on Thursday night, they spent the night Thursday night, and we started building her fairy house. I wanted a little house for her fairies, but I wanted to make it, not out of paper, because that's just not a good combo. Just one second, you guys. I have to meet you. I have to take this call. Just stay right here. Okay. Hopefully that's not too loud. I turned the volume back up. I gotta go. Yeah, the festival's having Kids Day today, and it was a friend calling to see if we were gonna go, and I said no, going to Spokane. Plus, I don't know why we would go to the kids festival. But sorry, you guys, I had to mute you. Yeah, I like the craft and black together too, Janny. I like it because I think it shows the paper well. So, and that's my goal. So, okay. We just have one or two more sides to go. This is our last page. The rest of them are done. So, forget what I was talking about. Anyway, so we built, oh yes, we built well, Grandma built because we had to use the hot glue gun. So I pretty much built it. She picked it out though. Picked up stuff, the flowers and glittering her butterflies and stuff. So we built a fairy house, which I think most everybody saw that on my Facebook page. It was adorable. Yeah, I'm using 1/8 inch score tape. Sorry, I guess I should have told you that. Oh yeah, wet glue will work. I just don't like waiting. Even though it's quick dry, I don't like waiting for it to dry. I end up moving the page around. Something gets all wonky. And so I like my wet glue, and I've got the whoa. That's sideways, Ash. Cheese and rice. I've got the new bottle. I got one of those, so yay. So yeah, wet glue will work. You could totally use wet glue on any of this. I just prefer tape. Okay, last page. And then we'll put these in the book. Or at least we'll bind them right fast. And then we'll start building the rest of our book. It's actually pretty easy. If you do all the prep first, this is a pretty easy album to slam home. I know, I need more too. I have the Miracle tape and the score tape. I prefer score tape. It's just my preference because I use it all the time. I don't think there's anything wrong with the Miracle tape. Works just as well, in my opinion. I have something about it. Love score tape. I'm an addict. I'm a junkie. That's for darn sure. So we went to the crafts fair yesterday and we walked around. We went to the kids booth and she got her face painted. She's so darling. I'll have to show you guys a picture on my phone. And then we went and we found another booth that had like tutus and stuff. Even though I make tutus, kind of nice just to buy one. So we did a little headpiece and she put it on, and everywhere we went, everybody was like, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. What a princess. And she gets this like side pose with her hands like covered. She's like, I know, and thank you so much. That's what she says. No joke. She's 4. Plain as day. I know, and thank you so much. She's so smart. Oh my gosh. She's going to be like the smartest person ever. She's a doll though. She's got a really good vocabulary for 4. She says words and I'm like, that stop me in my tracks. I'm like, oh my gosh. And she even used it properly. Okay. All right. last page is done. Oh gosh, I didn't check. Okay, there we go. So let's go ahead and get these all configured. So not too thick. Well, once you put paper on it and then your photos, the book does get a little thicker. Let's grab, these are our tags, which we showed you how to punch, which I showed you how to punch last week. You'll have 4 that are punched like that with all the holes. And then you'll have 2 that are punched like that. Okay, and I showed you how to do those too. So with this one, the one with 2 on either end is going to go first, and then a page, and then you can do a top, and then a page, and do a bottom, and then the page, or you can put them all in one spot. I like rotating. And then top, and then bottom. So that's how it's going to go in the rings, which we are going to get our rings. And we already did our back. Oh, that's our spine. Here's our back. Oh, here it is. Here's our back. So when you're binding these, you would flip your back around first. Where's my little book? I always get this confused. I don't do it enough to know this by heart, which I should because I've got a ton of them. Okay. 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 So this is the very back. The back and front cover are on the bottom side. So let's go ahead and put this in, as well as this back page. And I'm going to have to cut some of this off, obviously. There we go. Okay, and let's go ahead and do the top one. I can get proper measurements. There we go. Oh, for Pete's sake. There we go. Okay. So let's put our tag in. And then this one and this one. And then our tag. So it's going to go 2 on the top rings, 2 on the bottom. And there we go. So that gives you your middle. There. Bottom. Go and the top. And these are 1/4 inch, 1 1/4 inch rings, because it will eventually get bulky. Wait a minute. How am I missing a tag? Okay, hold on, people. Maybe there's not one in the back. I think that's what it is. Middle, top. So there's not one in the back. I just missed a page. Bottom. So you guys will get to see me do this again. Oh, darn. Oh, for Pete's sake. Middle. Top. And you can see that some of the paint comes off, but that's okay. It gives it that vintage look. And then bottom. Okay, let's try this again. Yeah, Renee, I have to agree. I don't know what prompted that conversation, but I do buy things at other places like physical stores. I don't usually do a lot of shopping online except for Scrapado do. That's pretty much it. My crafty budget goes there too. Well, they have everything I'm gonna want anyways. Why not get it delivered to your door? Especially for me. I mean, we live in a town, but we live a good hour away from the nearest, like, anything. So, okay. Now that you've got that bound, we're going to wiggle it through. So it's going to stand up like this in your machine. These little prongs are the closest to the platform that squishes, okay? I don't know what it's technically called, so you'll just have to use my lingo. Moving it out to 1 1/4 inch, because that's what these are. I hope these are 1 1/4. There we go. So official sounding. Okay. So we're going to set this in there, just like so. And make sure that when you press this out, you don't want one of these prongs off. You want all of your prongs sitting on that platform nicely. Keep everything straight. And then press. Okay. And then the same with this side. Again, make sure it's nice and straight and everything's flat sitting up. And press. And then you've got it perfectly bound. So you can flip your back from your front all the way to your back now. And these back edges right here hit your back page. That way everything stays bound as it should. Yeah, the paint comes off, but it gives it kind of a nice vintage look as you move it through, because you can see. Actually, I think this was from the machine, but there's some white there that came off. But that's okay. I like it, so FYI, that's what happens. Some of the paint comes off. But you could also sand it to make it look vintage as well. It's nothing major or dramatic. Okay, so now we've got all of this bound and ready to go. We just need to insert it in our album. So we are going to go ahead and finish building our album with the exception of this back page right here. Okay, with this exception. And you're going to be creating a slit at 1 3/4. So keep that in mind, and I'll show you what we're doing. So let's put our album together, and then we'll do this portion of it. Somebody remember one? I should just write it down. 1 3/4. Remember. Okay. So let's grab our spine. Here's our spine piece and our front and back covers and this one is our cover piece. Okay, and this is going to be done per usual, how I normally do my albums of covering stuff. Okay, so let's go ahead and put some tape on this one and use my 1 inch because this is a 2 inch by 9 tall. 9 tall, 2 inches wide. I had to show you guys before I get too far into this so I'll remember. I wanted to show you guys last week and I forgot. My hair's all crazy. So this was her yesterday at the park. I wonder if this will help. Let me see. She got her face painted. That's her dress. She had her flip-flops on by now. Her sparkle shoes hurt her feet. She's got this little head thingy. See, that's what she did. That's the pose that she made when someone told her she was beautiful. She's like, I am beautiful, thank you. And she does that little side pose. Isn't she adorable? It cracks me up. And then this one, we were sitting in the park having lemonade, eating a gigantic elephant ear. Oh, it's not blurry on my phone, it's just blurry on the computer. So this is the crafter that the ladies got to craft with. Oh yeah, there you go. Someone just told her she was beautiful. So she did her little pose. That was before dress. She just gotten her face done. She's wearing my hair bow that was in my hair. I have to show you her Starbucks pose on the couch. Well, here's one of them, but I'll show you the actual pose. She had her little legs crossed, sitting there on the couch at Starbucks, sipping on her smoothie. There's the two of us. With our Starbucks, we did a selfie. I'm like hardly in it, trying to hold the camera straight. Oh, and here's the fairy house. One of the dolls I cut out and colored. Those are spools with buttons on them for the inside table and chairs. There's the back side. There's a secret compartment on the side. All this is built out of popsicles and hot glue, people. I had some of this left over from when I built my bird cage, so. Anyhow, I just thought I'd share that. I just had to share it with you guys. She's adorable. Okay. Back to crafting. Of course, one things don't freeze. I'm not gonna bring it up. We already had a recording issue this morning, so I'm just gonna leave that subject alone. Okay. So I'm just doing both sides because that's how I roll. So this is the chipboard spine, for those wondering. So I just covered with tape. Okay, now here's our spine, and I need to ink my edges. And oh, black stuff. Because I don't like white edges. I want to do these in graphic 45, probably the transatlantic. I can't ever say that word, transatlantic land. I need to look at it. I went through and I organized all my graphic 45, which is a huge relief because it wasn't organized before. It was nicely preserved in some plastic 12 by 12 scrapbooking totes, but it was not in any way, shape, or form organized, so I'm excited about that. Okay, so 10 and a half. So 1 3/4 and 3/4. So 3/4 at the top, 3/4 at the bottom, and then it is, you need 1 1/2 on either side. So I'm just going to use my grid here so I line this up properly. So 3/4 from top and bottom, and 1 1/2 from either side. To get it lined up as it should be. Just like so. So I'm going to peel my tape off. I don't want a wonky spine, so I'm going to go to great lengths to make sure that it's not having trouble. And you can border punch your edges and whatnot. I'm not going to because I don't want to. Not for this album anyways. Okay. Thank you, Patty. Transatlantic. God, that word is just so weird. But I'm not scared. When I don't know something, I'm not afraid to say it. Okay, so that is on there. And what we're going to go ahead and do is make sure that these are facing the right direction. I'm going to give myself some generous space between here. It's not a big problem to have too much space. I mean, of course, you don't want a football field gap. But I definitely want to give myself enough space. I didn't do that on the first one, and I had some cracking on the spine, which I promptly repaired because that just drives me nuts. But I'm going to give it a good, you know, at least this green thing width. Perfect trim tool width, at least. Okay, so let's go ahead and put some tape on the top and the bottom and the sides. On the top, we'll use our 1/2 inch glue thingy. So we'll do top and bottom first. And you can use your 1/4 inch after that because it's a 3/4 inch gap. Or you can use your glue, it's up to you. I prefer the tape. Hi Blissful, welcome, welcome. And welcome to anybody that's come in since we've done roll call. Okay. do our 1 inch. And this side. Which creating borders with your tape is really nice. It helps you align things properly. I don't like things wonky, so. There. And there. Whoop. Okay, and then we're also going to put some tape on our front edges and back edges. So this is the back, so the tape needs to go right here. And I'm just going to do 1/2 inch tape from top to bottom because we wrap over the top of this. Now I have to cut this. One time I tore this and then I tore the paper. So this I cut. That. And then this side. Okay. Burnish all my tape. I'm going to start with one side and then we'll do the other and then we'll do top and bottom and wrap it over. Now remember, I want to give myself plenty of room. So I'm going to grab this little guy. Now your top and your, because we taped it this way, your top and bottom will fit in between this top row of tape and this bottom one, nice and evenly and straight. Okay, so we've got a nice sized gap there. You can see that fits this perfectly. Let's burnish this side. Okay, let's do this side. Hi Amanda, welcome, welcome. Let me make sure my wording is correct. Pull off this tape. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and burnish. And then we're going to do our tops and bottoms. Now for this one, I'm not going to remove the, I mean, you could. It's not really, go ahead and remove it. It's not really that important. The middle tape, because we're going to cover it next anyhow without getting anything on it. I don't do the whole lay everything like half one here, meet in the middle. I like to lay black over the middle of my inside spine. So, I mean, you could cover this exactly how you want to. It is your album. Whoa. And I'm just going to gently bend it over the ends, like so. Like we do with all of our albums that we build. Hold on. I'm trying to decide if I wanted to cover the inside first and then wrap it over. No, that's not how I roll. I don't like that. I was thinking of trying it once, and I don't like that. Okay, so we'll wrap our ends. There's a little tear there. I'll have to ink it, put some glue on it, because it'll become a big one here in a minute. Sometimes you just wrap things too tight. No, calories do not count on Sunday. Don't believe it when people tell you that they do, because they don't. They're just haters. Calories do not count on Sundays. All right. So I'm just going to start working this into the spine nice and gently. Same here, and then we're going to have to fix that crack on the corner. Check our outside spine. It looks okay. And we still have plenty of room here in the middle. And then we'll do this one. Nice and easy. Not a lot of pressure. Carol. She's changing her calendar days to Sunday, 1 through 7. Well, anything after Tuesday is WTF anyways, right? Isn't that how that saying goes? I didn't make that one up. I saw that one. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, WTF. That's how it works. Okay, so look, it's beautiful. Love it. I love it. Okay, so let's cover this inside area. And we've already got the piece cut for that. I do. Anyways, I don't know if you guys do, but I do. I'm going to cut it down, obviously, but it's the same width. And I'm just going to bring it 1/8 from the top and 1/8 from the bottom. So, ruler, here we go. So if it's 9, we're looking at 8 3/4 tall. So let me cut that to 8 3/4 tall. Hi, Anna. I sent Anna an email. I was like, Anna, oh my gosh, we're on early today. So I was hoping she could make it. At least she got it. Well, I don't know if she got my email or if she saw the Ustream one that automatically goes on. I know we're Facebook friends. You should always go on Facebook on Sundays. I'm going to start videoing it up. I liked this morning's video. It was awesome. Okay, so let's put some tape on this. Oh. Well, at least you saw it. I was like, oh, well, I sent it kind of late. I was thinking about it when I was in here setting up, doing stuff, and then I went out into the living room, and I went outside real quick, and I was like, oh, I'm standing right here with my phone. Let me email Anna. It was right before class. Completely had a brain puff. I don't know what else to call that. We've got the stuff in the middle. And then I'm pulling tape off. Night, Wendy. Thanks for being here. She's a doll. It's hot in here. I'm already getting all kinds of hot flashes. All right. Hi, Barry. Good morning. Is Barry here? Did I just see that? I could be tripping. I've been tripping a lot. There she is. Okay. Yes, so glad everything is okay with you, Barry. That storm. I didn't really watch a lot of the news, so I don't know how hard it hit or if both have passed. I imagine both have passed by now. Because wasn't there two? Or was that in a book I was reading? Oh my gosh, I'm losing my mind. Let me just tell you this. FYI, there's your disclaimer. Losing my mind. Okay. And the good thing is the same width as the one we just folded over, so as long as you get it an 1/8 of an inch from the bottom, you will be good for the top. Okay. I'm going to press that on there. Get it nice and on there. Okay, and then we're going to work it into our crevice. Just nice and gentle. Kind of start lifting up your thing and your side and work it in. And hopefully this one, we gave enough room, the spine won't crack. Just go slow. So far, so good. I'm going to press it over itself just a little so it has that bend. So far, so good. Work it down in there. Oh, glad it was mild. I know. I know. News is hysteria. Okay, so let's do this side. Gonna work it into the crevice nice and easy with the paper. Don't put a lot of pressure. Okay, there's no crackage on the spine. Yay. And we've got it all ready. I do have to deal with this little spot down here, so I'm going to go ahead and take my Perfect Paper adhesive and just put a little on there. This is what I do for all my cracks. That sounds so weird. I'm going to go ahead and ink it. So you can't see the white. I would be inking this anyway, so. And then I'm going to put some glue over it. Just a little dot. You could barely see that dot. And then just kind of rub it in. And voila, patched. Okay, so at this point you could ink your edges, do your stuff, whatever you're going to do. Now we're going to cover the front inside, and then we're going to work on this back inside cover. This is the important part, and so we'll do that next. So let's find our paper for the front inside. Remember, I'm going to use, because it's 9 by 9, I have to use my 12 by 12 collection. And not using that one. Oh wait, I forgot there's backs. I want to use something with some color on it. There's not a lot that have color. This one would be cute. The World. I don't know if I have 2 of those. So with this one, that one would be cute. We need 2. I like these numbers, but that's too much because we have writing on the outside. It's just too much. That's kind of too much too. Although I like it. The rulers would be cute. Well, that one's cute too. Okay. I like this map here. So we're going to go with that. And it's kind of set sideways. But I'm going to, this is the actual direction of the paper, so the map is sideways, but I'm going to rotate it. So this big writing is, you know, the proper way, and this little writing is kind of sideways. Okay? So we need 2 of those, and you're going to cut 8 7/8 by 8 7/8 squares. The hiccups. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. I know. I'm addicted to maps. I mean, we're working with the Echo Park paper. Now we're working with the engraver paper. And of course, I found the map. So let's cut off our little bottom tag. And I'm going to see where I want to kind of line things up at. We should just do, see what 8 7/8 look like. Or 8 3/4. I'm sorry. Do I want 8 3/4? Give me a second, guys. I want to make sure that. Yeah, I want 8 3/4. I think that's what I did with this one. Yes, 8 3/4. You could do 8 7/8. It won't hurt it by any means. Maybe I will do that. Okay, I'm making up my mind officially. I'm going to do 8 7/8. We'll see what it looks like. If I don't like it, we'll cut it off. How about those beans? You can always go big and then go smaller. You cannot always go smaller and go big. So just go big first. It's a pretty good solution. And I'm going to do the bottom portion of this for the back. So 8 7/8. Get more of the writing in there. I might actually do it for the front too. We'll see. I like that. I might put this one on the front. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so our 8 7/8 is going to be perfect. Do the 8 7/8 by 8 7/8. I love that. Love it. Okay, I'm going to do this one on the front. The two globes on the front. And then we'll do this one on the back with the writing. Awesome sauce. Hi, Judy. Okay. So let me ink my edges and I'll put down tape for this one. I'm going to ink the other edges too. Might as well since I've got it all out. Do that one. Yeah, I like this white because the letters technically, the majority of the letters on the front of this are white. Well, they are white. And so it ties in really well. If I had used a cream, it would have tied in with the background of the front, but I really like that. It matches well. I like it a lot. So today, so my two most favorite things in the world are, well, a couple of my favorite things. Little tidbits, fun facts, people. I love the OG. And for those that don't know this, the OG, if you see that on Facebook, you know I'm about to go to heaven because it is the Olive Garden and I love the Olive Garden. I love it because they're soup, salad, and breadsticks with their Alfredo sauce. What? I know. I know. You guys' mouths are watering right as we speak. That's all I go there for. I don't have other food. Where's my tape? So, soup, salad, breadsticks. And then my other thing is my sister, my older sister, Shell. She's a fantastic cook. Like, she'd own her own business kind of cook. And own her own restaurant. I would go every day. But she makes the best chicken Alfredo this side of the entire world. Okay, that's saying a lot. The entire world. No, my hubby made, this one just happens to have the black thing on it. No, we made the square ones a long time ago. Long time ago. What, a year ago, year and a half ago? So these are the square ones. I absolutely love these. It just happens to have, the little round one happens to be on an actual Timmy dauber. But then my husband made me these, which, oh, there's another black one. Okay, so I lied. There's a black one. Anyways, so he made me these, which I love. Love these. I prefer these over the stick ones just because they fit better in my hand and I can just go ch-ch-ch-ch-ch. I tend to lose it when it's just the stick one. But he did make me some of the stick ones just in case. This one's all wonky, but most of them are straight. So he made me a couple of these. And I like these too. So it just so happened to be that I thought the black one was on the little round one was on the other tool. I don't like changing them. So, so chicken Alfredo, but my most favorite is her Swedish meatballs and potatoes, and I actually haven't had those in forever. And I've tried to make them like hers, and I do okay. I can do okay. Let's just say that. But they're so yummy. Anyway, so I'm gonna Swedish meatballs and mashed potatoes today, and then chocolate, like devil food cake with cream cheese frosting and fresh strawberries on top. What? Divine. Well, we are doing the hot air balloon with the Bo Bunny Somewhere in Time. The leftover papers, we are going to whip out a mini with those as well. Because you don't use all the 12 by 12 sheets for the, because you need, was it 16? I'll have to look at the measurements, the pattern for the hot air balloon. You don't use all the papers in the collection pack. So, we will whip out a mini. Might as well, right? We like minis. Okay. So this is what I'm going to do. Line it up and stick it down. Pull off my one side. This is crucial, people. Okay. So now she's stuck down and at least aligned, so I won't go all wonky. I'll pull all my tape off. Yeah, we might as well. Shoot, you know. I don't even know what we have planned. I just want to make tons of minis. That's, you know, I have some altered projects I want to do. Then there's Scrap It Up Do projects. Plus, we're doing the big memory map, people. That takes a lot of paper. So we'll be using solid color paper and then throwing in accents of pattern paper. So you guys don't use a ton of paper. And then all of our scraps we're going to turn into tags. So the big memory map's coming up in September. I don't know if we're going to do it at the beginning or the end, but that's when I kicked off initially last year on Ustream, and we started with the memory map. So we're going to do an anniversary and start with a memory map. And I think that once the main memory map's done, we'll do a giveaway for that for my 1-year anniversary on Ustream. It's technically not. I did broadcast a good handful of times sporadically the year before, or that same year. But I didn't like have a following. I sat and talked to myself. That's not true. Anna was here. Anna's in the house. Okay, so you have your front, and so you have your inside cover. Okay, so what we're doing with this is, where's my, oh, here it is. Okay, what we're going to do is this back piece right here is going to get covered on both sides with tape, okay? And what we're going to do is create a slit 1 3/4 from the side, and I'll tell you from top and bottom. 1/2 inch from top, 1/2 inch from bottom, okay? And it's going to slide into that slit, and this paper would be glued on top of it, and then we're going to tape the rest of it down. So and this back gets taped down to the spine, so it's not just being held down by the paper. The paper's just covering up our back piece, okay? Parcheesi, come on. Alright, so I'm going to get this how I want it. And again, 1 3/4 from your left side, 1/2 from the top, 1/2 from the bottom. It's where you're going to be creating a slit. So I will show you. Let me get a drink of lemonade. Yep, Anna's the only one that's actually seen my archives. You guys, you'll never see them. The actual initial early days, you won't see them because they're no longer on Ustream. I do have 1 or 2. No, I don't, because my laptop took a, you know what? Is it 1 3/4? Let me check this real quick, people, before I just want to make sure that I'm giving you the proper. It is 1 3/4 on the side. And it's just a little bit under half. So it's more like 3/8 from the top, 3/8 from the bottom of an inch. Yeah, Anna and I just kind of hung out. We rocked it. It was awesome. My stepkids were the first to follow me on both YouTube and Ustream. Primarily because I made them, because I needed to make sure things worked. So I'm just going to make marks 1 3/4 inch in with my pencil. There. And there. I'm just going to draw a line all the way down. Let's go ahead and line this up. And we can erase if we need to. That was not a sharp line. There we go. Hold on, guys. I need to erase this line. Thank you, Jeanette. Oh, yeah. I did. I made a video showing how. Those were the early days. Mark slept a lot. I had a lot of time. No, I was working those days. Okay. And I need a new Timmy ruler. My stuff is just like worn off. And just a little under a 1/2 inch from the top and the bottom. I'm just giving myself cross points because I'm going to be cutting from this cross point line. I'll show you. You can see it right there, down to meet the other cross point line. That's what we're doing, people, for those that were slightly confused. Okay. Now I'm going to just take my ruler and grab my craft knife. Am I online? I think I'm here. It says that I'm here. I don't know. We were having issues earlier. I could very well be offline. But as long as you guys can see and hear me. Maybe refresh, Jess, and welcome. Okay. So you're going to have something that looks like this. You can see it. Okay. And essentially, and you might have to trim it a little bit more depending, but essentially what we're going to be doing, it'll be nice and snug, and I will have to cut just a little bit more in or out, just a little bit on the line. You're just going to have to adjust it as you go to fit your piece through. This one should fit now. And I'm talking about the back here. Okay, so this is essentially what we're going to be doing. Okay. What is the deal? Oh, that's the deal. I forgot my wires. Ooh, that hit the wall with some force. Cheese and rice. Alright. With these being spray painted, it makes them harder to roll, but they will roll. You just gotta get it going. And the spray paint comes off, people. It does pretty well. Comes off pretty easy. But I thought I'd give it a go, so we're gonna use it. And then I'll sand it down a little bit more and we'll make it more vintage. Okay. So I'll be pulling this back out here in a second. Because we still have to put tape on it. But essentially, that is how it's going to sit. See, this black inside right here will be adhered to this paper, and then there'll be tape all over this, and it'll be adhered to the thing. So all of it's adhered down. Okay. It is lightweight chipboard. It's not heavyweight. It's very lightweight. It's chipboard, but as thin as it comes. I mean, you could use a heavy stock paper. I wanted to use something heavy that would hold with the rings, so that the lightweight chipboard is great, but I don't want anything that is bulky, so when you slide your hand, you know, on this, that you would feel the indent. You're like, oh gosh, you know, not that anybody would react that way, but you know. So I want it to be semi-seamless. Okay. So that's what we're going to do. I need to put tape on the back of this and the paper. Okay. So let me get to taping here, folks. And I'm going to go as close to the ring binding as I can without, you know, being all up in its business. Here's my then we're just going to cover the whole back of this and on the inside as well, because it sticks to two different pieces. I wish I had my 2-inch. I need to reorder 2-inch. Totally out of it. There we go. And you could use your wet glue. It's totally up to you. Oh, it might, Janny. But I kind of like that it's coming off. I'm going to sand it actually. So there's like very light blue flakes on there. I want it to look really vintage. So for this one, it actually ends up working. Now, if you wanted the paint to stay, you might have to put a clear coat or something. The only way I can suggest is to take a piece of scrap wire that you have and test drive it. Either way, it's got to be able to have things sliding back and forth over it. So Carol's got white chipboard in the she's got it in the heavyweight. I don't know if she has it in the medium and light. The only reason I know that is because I have it in the heavyweight, but I don't know about medium and light. That would be nice to know. Yeah, the white chipboard, when you order it, looks like this. So it's got the white side, and then on this side, it's kind of the natural look. So it's white on one side and natural on the other. Okay, go ahead and burnish this all down. I love it. I'll show you guys here in a second. I've got blue flakes all over the place. Yeah, it is white. Oh, I love it. How super fantastic is that? I love that it's like all scratched and vintagey. I gotta finish doing it to the rest of it before I adhere this down. Otherwise, I'm never gonna get that stuff out of the book. That's why I'm doing it right now, people. So if you're doing a vintage album and you really want like wires, you want them to be vintage. Here you go. Okay. There's a little heart to my sander thing. It works great to just use your hand, stick it on your hand, and you just shh, because it's sticky as all get out. So that's what I do. Okay. So we've got it all super vintaged. And I want these to be back here. Because that's going like that. Oh, I love it. Oh, I need to do it just a little bit more. Okay, sorry. I know that scratching sound probably doesn't sound good on camera, but I should have scratched them all up before I put them on. But that was an afterthought, so. Okay. Love it. Oh my goodness. So pleased with myself right now. And I've got blue all over my party dress. I'm wearing my birthday party dress. Just a little black dress. My summer one. Okay. So let's put some tape on the paper now that we've got that all done. Now, I'm putting it right up to the seam. You can see here on both sides. Because it's really important for that to be held down. But don't go all the way to the bottom. I want to run different tape along the bottom. Okay. So I'm just going to run right above our seam some tape. This is just some 1/4 inch. I'm going to put some more 1 inch right here. It's just so that this whole section is really adhered down, so there's no tearing involved. And put the other 1 inch stuff here, and I'll just cut off the edge as needed. There we go. Well, let's not waste that. It's a pretty good strip there. Put that right there. Why not? Okay. Go ahead and 1 inch the rest of this. Now remember, your black piece is going to come in here and be taped down, so you don't really need to do this section. It's just more or less the edges in that front portion that are the most important. Okay. Burnish it all down. All right. So what we're going to go ahead and do is slide our piece in. I stinking did it again. Okay, when you lay your tape, don't lay it all the way up to the spine. There's no need to do that. You don't have to do that. Because when I go to pull off my tape, then there'll be tape there. And it's just like with this last one. I had to put paper over it. So you don't have to do that. But we're going to end up doing it anyways because I messed up. No worries. But I'm just going to line this up and get it straight. Make sure your rings don't go over the edge of your paper. Okay, you see what I'm saying? This whole tape piece right here is sticking out, which is fine. We'll just put paper on it. Put a nice little strip. So on one side, the top side of it, you don't put it to the edge. The bottom side of the black piece that's holding this in, you put it to the edge. And I'm just lining up with my grid. Does that look crooked? I'm just going to start removing tape off this black. And then this tape off of this portion right here. Pull this one out. Oh, my hand's sticking to that for sure. Jeez. Missing arm hair now. Okay. Now I've just got to get it all lined up, you guys, so just give me a second here. This is the part that's tricky. You're just going to have to work with it until you get it all straight. By no means is that perfect. Okay, hold on, people. For gosh sakes. I'm just gonna have to make it look straight because I got it on crooked. It's actually not this hard. I'm just being challenging, I suppose. So get it on there. So this is what you got. Okay, and you're gonna pull the rest of the tapes off, okay? Because you're gonna stick it to your book. So pull the rest of it off. So this is probably where wet glue would come in handy. You could, you know, readjust it, move it around. So if you're a wet glue user, I would say use it. I should have used it too. But that's okay. Oh. Okay. Now, make sure you're doing this the right way. Where's our album? Oh, here it is. Okay. Better stand up for this. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and get this side. I should get this side straight and laid down. There we go. See, it'll hold straight. This black portion looks a little wonky, but it'll hold straight. Okay, and then we're just going to burnish it down. All the tape's removed and it's sticking to everything now. And then I'm going to, because I screwed this up, I'm going to put a nice piece right here with some border punching on it. Solution. Crafty solution. So let's go ahead and grab let's use a scrap. We will use craft card stuff. And we'll put some craft right there with some border punching. Yeah, it's a little wonky, but it's alright. It's nothing we can't fix. The rings give you a lot of wiggle room. It's just because I stuck that one side down before I was supposed to. So, but you can see it's really smooth with that thin. I can tell that it's there, and you can kind of feel it, but it's not bad at all. So let's grab make this a crafting opportunity, right? So let's cut it to 8 and we'll change up the back a little bit. We'll do 8 by 4 1/4. No, 4 1/2. Okay, and we're going to border punch it and make it an awesome pocket. And we're going to stick it right in there like so, border punched. And now we'll have an awesome pocket. And you can still put a 4 by 6 on there. Solution. So let's go ahead and same punch we've been using. Hi, Gwen. Hey, you gotta make that money. I'd be showing houses too if that was my job. No worries. Okay. Put a little bit of tape around this. We're going to have a nice crafty pocket for a large size mat, all because of our boo-boo. Gwen, on Tuesday, are you on your channel or are you on Scrap-a-Dab-a-Doo? Do you know? Since you're here. Right offhand. Now tomorrow, or not tomorrow, next Sunday we'll be back at our regular time. Just so everyone is aware. Okay, Gwen's on her channel next Tuesday. And then this coming Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific will be on Scrap-a-Dab-a-Doo Crafts channel. There we go. And you can put paper over this if you like. Maybe some craft paper. That would look so pretty. You could use part of the collection paper over this, but we've created a nice pocket right here. We could put a nice colorful big old mat because of our crafty boo-boo. So let's see here. Why did I make that? I did 4.5, but now I need 3 5/8 wide by, I'm just going to see what it looks like. 3 5/8 wide. Well, that can't be right. Oh, that is right. By 7 7/8 tall. This would be a cute spot to write and journal about. We could ticket punch the corners, which is what we're going to do. Stub punch. We'll do all 4. Runs with the theme of this album. And it'll be a nice journaling spot. Love it. You can journal on the craft. It's my favorite thing to do. We're just going to put it on there like so. And then you can journal about whatever picture or pictures go in this pocket. Yay! And I love the blue popping through. So let's go ahead and adhere this down as well. Where's my ATG? There it is. This one's got stuff in it. And of course, I'm going to go over the line with my tape. That's how I roll. Love it. Nice journaling spot, and then of course you've got your pocket. Yeah, I like the blue. And then we scraped it to make it look really vintage. It's going to come off anyways. It's the spray paint that we spray painted. I wanted to give it a try. And actually it looks really cool. If you go for that vintage look, we're going to try to figure out a way to keep it on there. Maybe like a spray paint cover, like a finish or something that would keep it on there. So, but then that's your album. And it's super, right now it's thin, but once you get all the paper put on it and pictures put in it, you know, it's going to be huge. So next Sunday we'll finish this. I'm not going to, I have to get driving to my birthday party. So we're going to do the front cover with flowers and decorate some of the inner pages. And then we'll put whatever we're going to put here on the inside. We might just match the back. I don't know. But I like how it turned out so far. You can hang charms on the inside as well. But I love these. We've got no spine crackage. Gave it the proper amount. And our crackage at the bottom, we can't even see. No crackage. Because we repaired it. So, any questions? Thanks, Gwen. It's on Thursday, but we're going to celebrate today. For those that are working. Somebody else said, I mean, my sister just called and said, we're going to throw your birthday party. I was like, oh, no, you know, that's okay. At first, I was like, oh, but I had the broadcast. And I was like, wait a minute. I haven't had a birthday in forever. Somebody else threw me a party since I was probably like 18, I would imagine. That's not true. When I turned 21, we had a party. So, but yeah, I love the vintage look of the blue. All like scraped up. It's gorgeous. I love it. So when this one gets done, both of these up on my Shopify on Facebook. But this is the first one and this is the second. So they're beautiful. I love them. So let me stop the recording. Tuesday, like I said, Scrap It Avenue Crafts channel. And then next Sunday at our regular time, 1 p.m. we will be doing the rest of this. You're welcome, Renee. Thanks for being here. Yeah, Anna, it's on the 14th. So, for all of those that are watching, this is the conclusion of part 2. 9x9 mini album. We'll start part 3 next Sunday, and we'll probably, hopefully we can just spend the first hour with this, because I've got some of the engraver embellishments that I want to use. I want to put these clips, these keyhole metal, and I've got some of the flowers, and then here's some of the sage and crystals that I want to use as well. So first hour, and then we'll have another project going next week. So yeah, go to stamps, and then they're under Prima for the Prima doll stamps, which are just gorgeous. I just ordered the Witchy Poo, so for those watching the recording, you'll go to part 3 in a week. So